All right. Welcome everyone to day three of the workshop already. I cannot believe the event went by so fast. We covered so much ground yesterday. And if you haven't had a chance to join us, and if today's your first day, no worries, just jump right in. We'll do a quick recap as we get started. We are doing a workshop around building a community around your coaching business. And we talked a lot about the high level features that are built inside where you can leverage a lot of it, create subscription models, create all kinds of, pretty creative offers that Bridget had talked about. Bridget, welcome back to day three. I cannot believe time is flying.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited. Today is honestly, I love the tech stuff from yesterday, but today is where we get to pull it all together and I get to show you really how you can save so much time with this 4-hour workday strategy that I'm going to teach you today. This is not like hypothetical or theoretical. This is literally what I've done the past 5 years to build my entire business. So
Love
I'm
it.
super excited.
Love it. And if you are just getting started into the Zoom as you are trickling into our room, you may notice that the Zoom chat is intentionally turned off. And if you are wanting to engage with us, go to the live stream link we have inside there, and it'll take you to our main Facebook page where we're watching the comments and things like that. I do think Chase and Ryan on the product marketing side, they might be doing a live right now as they are wrapping up the monthly town hall or release radar, which are cool, amazing calls that you definitely want to catch the replays on in case if you jumped in here. But either way, we are live and we're watching the comments, the responses, the questions, everything on our Facebook page. So go over there. And take a look at it. Tell us what city you're checking in from. Give us some nuggets. If you have learned something new with this workshop, even type in a one that gives us one, it trickles the algorithm at Facebook to just allow more people into the live. It'll notify everyone as well. And let me just make sure somebody's directly messaging me here. So let me just go ahead and turn that off. Um, but either way, Bridget, if you don't mind, can you do a quick recap of day one and two as we go into day three?
Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. So, like I said, with day three today, what we're going to talk about is creating content. We're going to do open office hours and sales calls. We're going to repurpose this content, and I'm going to talk to you about different traffic strategies. Okay. I really, really want to encourage you. We're just going to do all of these things basically in 1 hour. I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to understand here in just a minute. So, just to recap, on day one, we talked about your value ladder. So, when you're creating your community, it's basically like your lead magnet. You really want to put a lot of value in there. But again, as coaches, our time is our most valuable asset. And so that's why I have the things that take time at the top of the value ladder. What we want to do is focus on content creation, on educating our audience, because when you educate your audience, it actually does the selling for you. It's just, here's me, here's my solution, and here's how you can sign up. Okay. I am not a salesperson. I don't like sales. I feel like it's so icky, even though everybody's like, Bridget, you're in sales. How do you how do you not like sales? But it's because, and I actually chose this model because I just love to educate and empower people to make their own decision whether they're a great fit for my program or not. Okay, so we're talking about the free community. Then we're, of course, upselling to the paid community. We want to add like software as an affiliate or a reseller so that we're not just adding an additional step in our value ladder, but we're also monetizing our communities. Okay. You can, if you do a video on, a certain software or your own software, which I'm going to talk to you about today with high level, It's just a matter of, hey, here's how you do this. And if you like this, click here. Okay. Whether you're reselling or affiliate, it's really irrelevant at that point. And then, of course, we want to, offer private coaching sessions because no matter how much value you share in a live, there's going to be people who have specific questions that they really just need some time to talk to you and kind of work through their own specific issues. And then, of course, every business owner needs services. So, of course, that's going to be at the top of our value ladder. So, to recap again, Monday we talked about choosing a color palette, creating your logo, and creating that headshot. We're basically just want to create a brand profile. And I showed you yesterday how we used all of this to very quickly. It wasn't really quick yesterday because I wanted to explain to you every step as we went through. But if you create this brand profile, when you're setting up your own client accounts or your own account, it just makes things so much faster and easier. Okay. And then yesterday, I walked through literally step by step with the SOP and everything to show you how to set up your funnels, customize everything, set up your domains, your communities, and all the rest of the system. So if you missed any of the replays, you can go to gohighlevel.com/Bridget Bartlett replays to check all of those out. So today, I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of go over quickly the first part of the checklist that we talked about that I just went through with you to see in case you missed it. But if you are, and this is for all high level members, okay, whether you just created a new trial or you're already a high level member, I know lots of people are super excited about this, but today's the day that this is going to be available for you. So that entire system that I went through Monday and Tuesday, I am going to give you for free. It's like so shocking. You guys, this is literally everything you need to set up your business. And of course, I'm going to invite you to my open office hours. You can join 4 days a week. And then, of course, you'll get access to my free community so that you can check out all my training and kind of funnel hack me, right? Like, see what I'm doing. I don't care. Copy it. So, if you are not a high level member, there's never been a better time to join because not only are you going to get all of those things that I just explained, but I'm going to give you access to my paid community, access to our weekly group coaching session, our done for you system that we have to resell high level, and then we have some other white label software that you can add to your value stack. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of traffic. Okay, so this is kind of an image here of the typical customer journey. So we have like the awareness stage, okay? And it's really important if you're going to do traffic, you need to understand the customer journey because even if a lot of people think, well, just run paid ads, but you running paid ads, what you're doing is putting your business in front of people who have no idea who you are, who have, again, it's going to cost more, right? Because there's no brand awareness. If you have no reviews or no social media content, then when they are considering your business and they go through their customer journey, looking up your business, because if you think about the last thing that you signed up for, you probably did a little bit of research on the company, but especially if it's something like a coach, because you are putting your business hands and your business in someone else's hands, right? So what we want to do is you have the awareness stage. This is when they're aware of your business. And then, of course, they're considering. This is where they're doing the research. They want to know, are you a professional business? Can I look and see that you have social media platforms everywhere, that you have, a following on your content? Because if you don't, then that tells me you're probably new. Now, if you're my coach, I'm like, oh, this is a new coach. They don't even have a following. How are they going to help me with my business? So these are all these things that we think about, right? We want to see the blog. We want to see your social media content. Maybe you're sending direct mail. I mean, there's so many ways to kind of put your business in front of people, but and this is kind of the overwhelming part, right? So it's like, okay, well, how do I make them aware of my business? How do I get them to consider my business? How do I get them to actually make a purchase? And then how do I get them to stay in my program or my business? How do I get them to also be so happy and satisfied that they're telling other people about it? You guys, the super cool thing is with live content, we just speed past here like Speed Racer, all the way from awareness to advocacy, because look, even if they don't stop at the stage right now to be a customer, they will be sharing your videos. They will be telling other people about you just because of the free value that you provide. It's so shocking. I know people are like, yeah, but if you get it all away for free, then why would anyone ever want to book a call? Why would they ever want to? Because you've established yourself as the expert, right? I got so many messages yesterday after the workshop of people saying, oh, from that workshop, I just saw, your stuff. Okay. How would you know that I know my stuff if I don't show you? Right? How are you going to know if I'm the coach for you if you don't ever see my face and if you don't ever talk to me? Right? Maybe I'm super obnoxious and you just like when we meet, you're like, oh, I cannot work with this person. Or maybe we have such similar values and you just love the way that I deliver the content and it just like speaks right to you. Those are all things that we can answer all these questions just with the live content. Okay, that's it. We're just educating people, not just on our business and the solutions we can provide, but also we're educating them on ourselves. Okay, so we can do all of this with just the live videos. Okay. Now, live is so important because you can see here, according to Dash One, 161.4 million people watched live video content in 2023. This is projected to increase in 2024. So 50% of TikTok users have bought something after watching a TikTok live. 53% of companies have used live video in some form, and 28% of marketers say live video is the best for ROI. So it's a no-brainer, right? Because and I get this feedback all the time. We're all reality TV junkies, okay? I know I especially am. I don't know. I love watching like van life videos, and I have no intentions of ever living in a van, but I just love the live content. I love to see people in their natural environments doing things that they do. And when people make mistakes in live, it's okay. Like I said the other day, I get so much feedback too on the mistakes that I make and how people can like learn just to see how I troubleshoot things. Okay. So live is like so engaging, and when you live stream at the same time, so whether, I do 5 days a week, I'm live on my channel and all my social media networks 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have kept that schedule for the past 5 years. Okay. So that's what I mean about being consistent. And if you ever think about like TV shows that you watch, like Dr. Phil, right? Dr. Phil comes on Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Okay, so it's like we anticipate that, right? We're like, oh, okay, tomorrow at 2 p.m., Bridget's going to be live. And she said today she's going to be teaching us about this. So you start building up this network of people who are literally planning their days around your content because you are consistent. If you can't do 5 days a week, do 1 day a week, do 3 days a week. But you need to, when I talk about planning the day that you want to have, you need to come up with a realistic plan. Don't say you're going to go live 7 days a week if you're not. If you are, great. If you're not, don't tell yourself I'm going to go live. Think realistically about the amount of time that you have where you can go live. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to plan 1 hour a day, however many days a week that you say that you're going to go live, that you're committing to the consistency of this, okay? Because consistency is really the key. People need to predict when you will be available, okay? So, 15 minutes, all right? Now, it doesn't need to be long. It needs to be just something educational where you can share value that will actually help people, okay? Now, in that live stream, we're going to give them the call to action. Hey, join my community. Now, the chances of them joining your free community is pretty good because if they're tuning into your live stream, they love your content and the value you provide, chances are they would like that little bit of additional support. Now, if you can throw in courses and you can throw in additional things, and then when you're in your live, you can say, hey, if you like this and you want to check out my course on da 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 da, join my free community. Okay, so these are the calls to action we're going to be giving in our live. All right. Now, what happens after the live stream and what I do in my own videos, I actually have like an outro video that says, as soon as I am done going live, it says, hey, Thanks for joining the live. If you'd like to join us for open office hours, it's free to everyone. And I really mean free. Okay. You guys can join too. Like, you don't even have to be a member to join our open office hours. Now, you might think again, oh my gosh, you're providing so much for free. And the reason that I'm doing this, and you're going to see here in just a minute, is because people have questions, right? Now, it doesn't matter how thorough you are with your copy and your website and your videos and all that. People are going to have questions. And sometimes people just want to talk to you before they go ahead and sign up, you know? So what I want to do is I want to throw my free members and my paid members in a group together. Okay. It's still me. I'm still available to all of these people, but I'm inviting everyone into my open office hours, like I said, which is about 45 minutes. And it's the same time every day, immediately following my live stream, which is being broadcast everywhere. Okay. Now, what are the results of this? It's literally magic. Okay. Because when they're watching your live streams, okay, they are mentally making these decisions. They're aware of you, right? If we go through that customer journey, they're aware of you. They're actually considering you. They're probably going to go look and see like your Facebook profile, your Facebook business page. They want to check out your other YouTube videos. And if you don't have that content there, there's going to be nothing to check out, right? And you may be starting as a brand new coach or even a coach with lots of experience, but maybe you decided, hey, this online thing, I need to get online, right? They want to see that content. Okay. So when you go live consistently, you are literally building a knowledge base for yourself, okay, of all of these videos that people can not only look and see all the previous ones, but you are building up the videos and the content, right? So by the time they have made their decision, they've worked themselves through the customer journey without ever speaking to you or you ever making a single sales call, a single demo call, or, or having to, whatever, right? So it's like they're deciding for themselves. Okay. Now it replaces sales calls because here's what happens. And I absolutely love this. And honestly, I wish I could say I anticipated this happening, but I really didn't. It replaces sales calls because what happens is new or free members, they come in to the open office hours and the paid members are there. And sometimes people, when they first come into the open office hours, they really don't have a question. They're just kind of observing. They want to see, what is it like? What can they expect? What does this even look like? And is there value there? So even if they say nothing, what happens is other members are asking questions and you're going through and answering the question. So it's like a private training, coaching, like demo sales call, right? Now, when the new members or free members, they do have questions, of course, you're available there, right? But you want to be available so that you can answer their question. Of course, you need to limit this to like 5 minutes. I have on my open office thing, if you have a 5-minute question, cool. If you don't, here's the link to book a private consultation. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm just being myself, right? I'm just providing value. I'm just available there. Okay. So if you're like, hey, I have a question and it's longer than 5 minutes, now you're upselling yourself. I'm not doing any of this upselling. I'm not having sales calls all day long and trying to upsell people. I don't even mention it. I just put it on my bio link and then people book all the time. Okay. So what we want to do is after we create that 15-minute live stream, we want to take that content and we want to cut that down into short form videos. You can add that to your courses. Okay. So if you plan your live streams to create a series, not only are they interested in continuing the series, right? So if they join on day 1 or day 5 and your series is 10 days long, the chances are they're going to go back and watch the previous days and then they're going to be live or watch the following replays because now they're kind of invested in this course that they only saw a little snippet of during that live stream or in a replay. Okay. Also, what we want to do when you're live so much, we want to take that video that you created and we want to create a blog post with that because it's a great way of one, getting additional traffic. But two, you can add additional info, or maybe if you have like content that you've given, you can add that to the blog post. And what's cool about this is, yeah, you can get some, organic reach. It can actually be found online with your blog posts. Okay. But it's also a great way of creating a searchable knowledge base, right? I mean, you could literally, there's, uh, white label knowledge bases that you can get through high level even has their own white label knowledge base that you can use. But if you want to build a business around your coaching business, we want to promote ourselves, right? And we want to add as much value on our websites as possible. So then the next thing is that content for all platforms. Okay. You could sit around and create graphics and quote. I used to do this all the time. I would just create like thousands of quote graphics with my logo on there, and then I'd schedule them and I'd think, great, this is my content. And I never got leads. But when you take this live stream and you either upload it to all the platforms or you use one of the third-party tools to multi-stream to the platforms, then that's just your content for the day. This is all the content that I use for social media. Okay. I do all these things that I'm telling you about. So let's go into actually building this out, or this community. Okay.
Yeah, and
Let's go to,
as you pull
sorry.
that up, I could kind of reemphasize this concept because, here at high level, a lot of our client acquisition efforts are built around education, and we do the exact same thing of having, an army of people that are affiliates that are constantly putting out content on the external, ecosystem. And in the internal ecosystem, when I say that, it's like all of our Facebook groups, our communities, our courses, like in app. We build a ton of live experiences. And to me, live experiences allow like an environment of vulnerability. And vulnerability to me is the trademark of branding, right? That's the real trademark because you want to showcase who you really are behind the scenes. And that's what really works. So, because of that, if you don't know this, we built the entire high level business without a sales team. And even today, we don't have a sales team, nor will we have a sales team because we lead with education. And literally, I mean, I'm pretty sure right now, as we talk, we have a couple of lives running all at the same time in our groups. I know high level town halls are happening, release laters are happening, master classes are happening, lunch and learns are happening, 5-day challenges are happening, workshops are happening, spotlight sessions are happening, all running simultaneously across like 12 different social channels every single day. And the reason why we do that is because we don't have to talk to warm or cold or even hot prospects, right? We talk to converted prospects that just needs to be pushed over on the onboarding. Like we don't even have to deal with warm prospects often. And the same thing happens on the affiliate side. We bring in affiliates that are fully in the know of how things work in high level before they come over. We don't chase anybody. We don't have a sales team because our our noise, the ecosystem noise is built around lives. I'm telling you, thousands and thousands of people watch these lives. Like today, I promise you, we have what, 200 something people watching. 50 of you have came to one of the workshops I've done for the last 6 months and don't have a high level account. I know that. But guess what happens? Next month, you'll jump into a trial, right? So then over time, it creates this echo chamber of noise for the entire ecosystem. So your point of, building an education-based channel is very, very relevant, even at our scale.
Yeah, and it makes you so searchable. It's like, what do we do when we're trying to figure out how to do something? How to build a website. And I'm definitely going to talk about this in the strategy, but it's so true. We don't really want to, like, sales is great, and if you have a business where no one knows you, you need sales, right? Unless you want to do the educational content. But it's great because it's like you're basically demoing. This is what I do with high level all the time, right? I'm demoing high level. I'm just showing it in a way that is specific and relevant to you. Like today, this week, we're talking about how to automate your coaching business with communities. Next week, I might be talking about how to build a lawn care business with high level. The week after that, I might be talking about how to be an affiliate marketer with high level. It's all about teaching the possibilities so that business owners can look at what you're doing and say, yeah, I think I need that. And they're in that consideration phase. Let them consider. Give them all the information that they need to make their buying decision without it involving your time. Because if that process involves your time, you're going to be completely burnt out and exhausted, or you're going to have to hire a sales team, and then that's going to eat into your profits, and now you're just constantly chasing the money. It's like, I just made 50 grand last week, but 45 of it went out to something else and I'm still broke. So it's like a constant cycle I see people falling into. But when you're just one person, especially as a coach, because you're the face, you're what you're promoting, right? We want to show people why you can trust me, and I want to trust me, you have to know me, okay? And then hopefully you like me. So if you know, like, and trust me, now I've just pretty much solved all of your problems that you have before you can buy. Eventually, even though I promote high level all the time, I still might show something else that is so relevant to high level agencies. And that's a great solution for them. And sometimes it's not. But if you're showing all the solutions, now people are like, oh, and then all the time people will ask me, do I really need this? Because here's what my goals are. And I've already bought this tool and that tool and that tool. Do I really need this? And I love having the ability to say, no, you really don't. Let's get some more sales first, and then you can invest back into your business. And sometimes it's hard if you don't have a coach to know when it's time to upgrade, when it's time to invest. Is this the right tool for me? Those are all things that a coach can help you do. So recapping, going through our checklist. And again, this is the SOP. This is the checklist that everyone is going to get today. Okay. Lots of people have been asking and we've been holding out on it. So today is your lucky day because you're going to get this SOP as well as the whole system. So here's what we talked about on Monday: building your brand, creating your domains. We talked about yesterday, literally every step of the process, from importing the snapshot to getting your whole account set up. And then you'll see today we are in the traffic. Okay. So traffic is honestly my favorite part because this is what we want to really streamline. This is what's going to take you from a lifetime learner to an actual business owner making sales. Okay. So we want to create a social media strategy. And when I say that, I know lots of people are like, yeah, but how? What do I actually post? So I've created a tab in here for social media strategy ideas that I know that I use all the time that will work for you. And when you're thinking about your social media strategy, for example, okay, if these are business owners, all right, and what do business owners need to know? Well, how to choose a color palette. But we're not just going to say, we're not going to create a video of like how to choose a color palette. We're going to create a video that is how to choose a color palette for whatever our target audience is. Okay. So you need to make sure to put that in there because, for example, if I'm doing a video about how to choose a color palette for lawn care businesses, guess what's going to happen? Lawn care businesses are going to find that video in the search. They're going to watch the video, and then they're going to start going down that customer journey. Okay. They're aware of you. They're considering you. Now it's basically like you've done a demo, right? Because you have put your face in front of them. They've heard your voice. They've seen your mannerisms. If you're live, they can ask you questions. That's what we want to do, right? All of the content. And that's why it's so important. We talked about on day one, choosing a niche. So what do you know and who can you help? Okay. So how to choose a color palette for lawn care business owners, how to create a logo for your coaching business, how to purchase a domain for your pharmacy, how to purchase a professional email address for your affiliate marketing business. Okay. Whatever your target audience is, this is what we want to focus the content around. Now you can see that if you have high level, you can teach them all these things. right? Because you have, this is business, right? So we have the blog builder, we have the social media channel, we have the proposals and invoices and all the things on this list, but we don't just want to say, here's how you build a email sequence, okay? It's going to be, here's how you build an email sequence for your pharmacy. Okay. And then you want to show them specifically and you want to include strategy in that because when they watch that video, you want them to be thinking in their head, that's exactly the solution that I have been looking for all this time. I cannot even believe I just found it. I'm so shocked and amazed. That's what we that's what we want them to think, right? So you guys, I've put this in here for you to use where literally this list is going to fit any coach business or any content creator business that is using high level and has a niche that they want to promote it in. How to get leads for your online course for coaches. Okay, all of these things. Create an AI chatbot, create an IVR. All of these tools are inside of high level. And what's cool is even if you don't know the tools, guess what you can do? Step one, how to choose a color palette. We just learned how to do that on Monday. So if you followed the steps, now guess what? You know how to choose a color palette. Create a video. Now that's going to be your first one. Okay. Now, what's beautiful about this, once you've created all of these videos, okay, let's walk through the day. You've created this video. You've said, hey, join me in open office hours. Now, all those people that watched your video, they're joining you in open office hours, which is so much better than demos because here's what happens in free demos. People book when they're excited. By the time the meeting rolls around, they forget or they're too busy or they're not motivated. And then now you've planned your whole day around this free demo that they never even showed up for. And so now you've just wasted a bunch of time. Okay, that's not what we want to do, especially if you are a solopreneur and you're building your business on your own. We need to be efficient with our time. So all of this weeds out all of those people being available after the live training to catch them when they're hot, when they have that question immediately. Or even if they watch the replay, they still see that at the end and they're like, oh, wow, she's available every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, I'm going to watch the video and then I'm going to make sure to join in open office hours. Now, if tomorrow comes, let's say that they had an emergency and they can't make it, that's okay because you know what? You're live the next day too. And you're live the next day too. And eventually they're going to join you in open office hours. And when they join, they're probably super ready to buy too. I've never had anyone join, and I can say this with whole confidence and truth. I've never had anyone join open office hours that did not become a client. Okay, because when they join, they're already basically ready to buy. Most of the time they join open office hours and they have the page pulled up and they're like, I'm getting ready to submit my info in, but I just had one question before I do. This happens all the time. And then of course, all of our paid members are like, oh, you will never find a better program than this. Oh my gosh, the value that she provides. Oh, and so as soon as they hear that, and it's not something that I pay them to do, it's that advocacy part of the customer journey where they're happy, they're staying, and they're telling other people about it. So you combine these two groups together and you have magic in your open
Yeah.
office hours.
Another thing with the group environment is it naturally creates a social proof that I'm not alone making a decision. I've got a group of people that's with me that's in the same boat as I am. So like from a conversion standpoint, it's better to sell and convert one to many versus one on one. One on one is great and dandy when you actually close, but typically expectations are off or misunderstandings happen quite rapidly and easily. Where a group setting, your offers are tight, and then it's multiple people asking all kinds of questions, and there's a batch of people, a class of people essentially, so just natural social proof just takes place. Oh, I'm not alone. I've got my friend, or I see 30 other people in here, or 200 other people in here. Maybe something is there to it, and it just builds more confidence to the host.
Yeah, it's the trust part, because you join, if I joined one of high levels like live workshops and there was no one in there, I would be like, did I, is this even a legit company? I would feel like super weird about signing up. But if I'm seeing like, oh my gosh, there's like hundreds of
Yeah,
people in here and everybody's signing up. But also,
yeah,
what's cool is like, not only are you available for your paid members, but they also, it kind of helps to build their trust because they see
yeah.
consistently new people coming in. And so they're like, oh, wow, okay, Bridget knows what she's doing because like she's
Funny.
growing. There's more and more members in here every day. So
Yeah,
it's so multifaceted and multifunctional.
yeah.
And think about this. Think of all the things that you're combining in that 1 hour. The 1 hour. And if you don't have 1 hour to work on your business a day, come on, really? Is it a business or is it a hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is I'm glad you mentioned it because when people look at our website, they're like, is this a legitimate multi-billion dollar software company? Because this doesn't feel like it, right? And we've had fancy websites and, but what I think Robin, Alex, one of our co-founders, he threw up like a funnel on the way to an event that he was speaking at back in the day, like, 5 years ago. And that funnel still converts way better than any fancy websites we've ever thrown up that were professional and, spent thousands of dollars on. So, we'd battle that. Is this a legitimate company for on the website stuff? But we definitely have came a long way on these educational events. But yeah, keep going. I love a lot of the things that you're sharing.
Well, and that's a good point because if your content is on point, like High Level has great content. You guys are always live, you're always just pumping out the value like nonstop, right? So let's talk about the daily workflow, okay? The daily workflow. Here's what I recommend for all of you guys, okay? Because what does this look like in your daily life? All right. Now, I do recommend whatever social media platform because it's great to create live content and it's great to be consistent, and you need to do that. This is our content creation. These are our blog posts. This is our short form video. This is everything that we're doing, okay? But if you're brand new and you have no audience, then you need to still work on organic traffic. Okay. And I really don't encourage you to run paid ads if you've if you don't have any traffic. Really start with organic because by the time you learn everything that you need to learn and set everything up to actually be successful with paid traffic, you'll be able to do all of that before then and not waste a bunch of money. Okay. So, what I say is choose a social media platform that you are going to engage on all the time. It doesn't matter which one it is. Okay. It could be TikTok, it could be Facebook, it could be wherever. And you need to find within these social media platforms that you're going to be engaging in, find groups or communities of people that are your perfect customer. One thing, since I resell tools, I love to choose not so much competitor tools because it's really hard to convert someone who's already got their business built on another platform, but complementary tools, right? So like, if there's a super popular image creation tool and all marketers use it, right? So I want to go to that group because they're market chances are they're a business owner if they're using these like graphic tools, right? um, like other AI tools, right? Because High
Yeah.
Level has AI tools. If you're using AI tools, you're probably my perfect client because these are all complementary tools. Don't ever go to advertise your business here groups or affiliate marketing groups. Just steer clear of all of those. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're checking out your groups, make sure that there's active members in there. Make sure that people are actually engaging and commenting, because a lot of times you'll see these groups and they just have like spam basically, or everybody's just sharing like random things. Make sure it's a valuable group because you're only going to pick three. Okay. So when you're picking three, make sure there's lots of members, it's an engaging group, and then make sure you look at the rules and see, because chances are you cannot just go to the groups and say, hey, look at me, look how great I am, and here's what I offer, and hey, contact me, because no group is going to allow you to do that. So you need to be a little bit more strategic when you're in the groups. Okay. So I've given you some ideas here because this is another thing that people ask me all the time. Well, what do I even say in the groups? And you'll see if you go to the High Level group and you search Bridget Bartlett, one of the things that I love to do in groups like High Level is the first one I have here. Did you know? Okay. High Level has new releases. Like you see Sean coming at you about 20 times a day with new releases. Okay. So it's so cool when you see something like that to go to the girl, or it doesn't have to be Sean coming at you. You could be like working in the tool and being like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know we could do this. This is so awesome. And this is literally how I feel when I'm posting in the high level group. Like, what just happened? Oh my gosh, they created this. I can't even believe it. I have to tell someone because that's the advocacy part, right? I am a huge advocate of high level because I love it. So what I want to do is I want to take a screenshot of that, whatever it was, and I want to go to the high level group and I want to say, did you know high level just released this cool feature? I cannot wait to use this for my XYZ. Okay. Now, what does that do for you? Okay, what it does is one, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know we could do that. So now they're engaging with you and you're talking with them. And now chances of them clicking on your profile and sending you a friend request is pretty good. So, obviously, you could send them friend requests as well, but don't be super spammy. It's so icky when people do that. Okay, don't be spammy. Have real conversations with people. Provide real value in the group, and it doesn't matter. It could be another, another tool or whatever that you're using, and always choose tools that you use. Don't be like super weird, just say, hey, even if you just signed up, hey, I just signed up for this tool, what do you think of it, so things like that you can ask questions about the tool. Okay, all we're trying to do is connect with our perfect client, really, our like-minded people, because that's a natural thing that we do. But sometimes when we think of doing it online, it's like super weird and we just don't even know what to say. If you walked up to a person, you could probably talk all day about high level, but for some reason, when we get online, we're like, oh, uh, high level, here's my affiliate link, whatever. So you just want to talk like a normal person. If you love it, say why you love it, and also help the group. Make position yourself as an expert, as an engaged user. In high level, I'm posting all the time about all the cool things, and people recognize my posts. This is how this happens. If you're in another group, comment again. Something else that you could do if you're in a random group, right? Say, share a personal story about your business and the struggle. Okay. Say, oh man, when I first started, I was doing this, this, and this, and now I'm doing this. And oh my gosh, it just helped me so much. What is something you guys have experienced that you've overcome? I'd love to have your advice because when you ask for advice, people love to give it. And so it's not a spammy thing. You really want to. And then when people comment, don't just be like, "Ooh, engagement, great. Friend request, friend request." What you want to do is actually engage with them. What I love to do is never send a friend request. I love to just challenge myself to just be a helpful person online and get them to send me a friend request. I never ever send friend requests ever. Everyone sends me friend requests. Okay. And that's why I don't, it's part of the pre-qualification sales process. I don't want to be a spammy person. Plus, also, if somebody has a large following in social media and they send you a friend request, a lot of times I think it's spam. I think it's like a fake account. So it's kind of weird. If Paulson sent me a friend request, I would be like,
Something's
let me
up.
see. Paulson, we're already friends on Facebook, but if we weren't
But
friends and you
you
sent me a
know,
real Paulson.
the thing that I'm taking away from what you described on the content strategy and how you kind of, embed yourself into the community is the the cool thing about high level and being a product-led company is that the advocacy that a lot of people have is built around the product. That's a big difference versus, I don't want to name any names, but other communities that have the advocacy around the culture of the brand or a personal brand that is just indoctrinating, almost evangelizing a certain, topic or a theme or whatever. But when you create advocacy for your groups and your members and a culture around the actual offer and the value that is product led, the noise is very long lasting. You can take, like, if we took a couple of months off from all these lives at high level, nothing will change. I promise you, nothing will change because the culture and the advocacy is built on the product, not because Paulson's going live or Chase is going live or Sean's going live. It's around the product. So as you're building the noise and the content and the culture in your communities and groups, pay attention to why people love you. If they're
Mhm.
loving you for the superficial things, there's a problem in the longevity of the business. It cannot be around you as the person. It must be around the expertise and not just your opinion on the expertise, but what it's built on. Is it built on a product? Is it built on a solution for the industry? These are things that you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, 100%. Um, so we've talked a little bit about, again, we just don't want to be spammy. And it's such a good point, Paulson, when we're talking about, these live streams. And if we did decide to stop, if we decided to take 2 months off, guess what? All of those live streams are still everywhere that we had them, right?
Yep.
So it's like those links are still in the video, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or wherever, or YouTube, those videos are still living there on that platform. So people are still searching for them, they're still watching them. So even if you're not actively doing it, if some disaster happens, you still have all these videos making sales for you while you're whatever, whatever it is that you're doing. So let's now get back to our step 2 here. Okay, we need to create a YouTube channel. Now, you guys, here is, I'm so excited to show you this because it's so cool. If you're unfamiliar with RSS feeds, okay, this is an RSS feed, okay, and there's lots of RSS feeds. You can use them for blogs and whatever, but there's also one for YouTube, okay. Now, this is going to be, don't get overwhelmed when I say RSS feed. It's just a simple link we're going to copy and paste. I'm going to build it with you. Super simple, okay. But the cool thing about an RSS feed is here's how this works, okay. You upload a video to YouTube. So I'm going to walk you through this process. You're going to upload a video to YouTube, and let's go to my YouTube channel here. Okay. So here's what I would do. I would go up here to create, and I want to go live. Okay, so you do need 100 subscribers on your channel to go live. So that's something that you'll probably, if I was starting over again, I would just record the videos and then upload them to all of my channels until I got 100 subscribers. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you go live. Now, what you want to do is you want to schedule it. All right, we're going to create a scheduled live stream. Now, if you're using like multi-channel streamers, it actually makes this a lot easier, but you don't have to. Okay, you could just simply use YouTube, create a new event, and then you're going to schedule the event. I don't want to go too deep in here because I'm live. I don't want to share any personal info, but we're creating a video. We're just scheduling a YouTube video. Okay. Now, when we schedule that YouTube video, let me get out of here and let me go back to my channel here. You'll see this event. All right. Now I don't have any events scheduled, but you'll see your event scheduled here in your videos. Okay. So let's just pull this up, or actually let's go back here because I want the channel. So you'll see here when I'm in my channel, let me go to the home page. There's a million different ways that you can find your channel ID. But let me just close out of this. And if I go back into my YouTube channel here, what I'm trying to do is get this channel ID, because if you have a branded channel, it adds your name here. So you'll see up here, it says youtube.com channel / and then there's this long code here. Okay, so what I want to do, just want to copy this, and I want to go back to my cheat sheet here, my SOP. What I'm going to do is where all the red text is, and also including these little brackets here, I just want to paste in that channel ID. So now that is my RSS feed for my channel. If I want to create an RSS feed for a playlist, which you may want to do, okay? Because if you think about it, what it's going to do is every time you upload a video to YouTube or create an event, it's going to send a message to that link, and it's going to do whatever we set it to do. Okay, but it knows now, hey, there's a new content here. So what do you want us to do with it? That's kind of what the link is kind of hanging out asking, right? So if you have short form videos, and you have multiple, you can actually segment those into playlists, and then you can grab the playlist ID. So one of the things that I like to do, for example, my Monday through Thursday goes into a playlist, my Friday goes into a different playlist. So if I did want to do that, I could just click here into the actual playlist, and you'll see up here it says playlist question mark list equals, and then there's this big long code here. Okay, so this would be the code to this specific playlist. Okay. So what this means is if I add a video to this playlist, it's going to trigger my RSS feed. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this here and I'm going to go back to my little cheat sheet. And then I'm going to override all the red text and I'm going to paste that in. Okay. So now this is my RSS feed for that specific playlist. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how super cool this is, because how cool would it be if every single time you uploaded a video to YouTube, it sent your whole list an email about the video with the link to click in it and all the things that you love, right? And how cool would it be if we could also use this RSS feed to automatically post this video to all of our social channels? If you're not using a multi-streaming service, this is really important because you want to, this is a part of how you're going to get traffic to your YouTube channel. Okay, YouTube is definitely the best place to have your videos. It's the one everyone's searching. It's you just need to be on YouTube. So if there's one place, even though I did see High Level is releasing the option to live stream in your communities, and I love that. It's in review. I just saw it yesterday, if you guys didn't know. But that live streaming in the community would be great for open office hours, but we want the traffic. We want everyone seeing this live stream that we're doing. Okay. So that's why, even though we will have the capability of doing that inside the communities, which would be a great way of hosting your open office hours, we'd still want the traffic from the social media platforms for that live stream, the 15 minutes that we're live. So what we're going to do, we're creating this. We're going to create a smart list, which is, I'll show you that in just a second. And that is going to help us send to all the right people. And then we're going to send the email to our smart list. And then, of course, we're going to complete the steps here in our get traffic. So let's just get started here. Okay, so very first step, we've already created the RSS feeds. Now we need to create a smart list. So I'm going to go now into my account. And you'll see if I go into the, let me actually go into another demo account because I actually have contacts in this one. So if you go to your contacts, we can actually create smart lists. So let's say that I want to, I'm going to select all of my contacts here. Okay. And let's say that of all these contacts, I want to create a specific list of all the people who have my newsletter tag. Okay. Now, this is really important because we want to make sure that we are only sending to the right people. We don't want to be blasting emails out when we don't even have an email address. Okay. Because sometimes, in High Level, we could get contacts from like text messaging when they call us, or they message us on Facebook Messenger or through Google Business. And so we don't want to be sending all of those and then causing errors because we don't even have an email address. So I'm going to say if they have that, and they also have an email address, is not empty, apply. And I could add any other criteria here. I could even add an or option. Okay. So if I wanted to say, if they have this tag and their email is not empty, or they meet whatever criteria, I could do that. I could also add an additional step. So maybe I want all the people who have the newsletter tag, they have an email, and they are not D&D. Okay. Or, and they, let's see, maybe their address, they live in a certain city, or they have a certain first name, or they have a certain number of followers, or whatever. I can choose any of this criteria to set to all the people in this list that I want to send to. Okay. So that's how you want to create that smart list. Go back in there. And what I want to do is I want to save this smart list because, obviously you need to save things. So let's just say we're going to call this newsletter. So I'm going to go ahead and save. So now all of those people that meet my criteria here, you can see of all of these people, there's 1,002. Now, of course, I didn't set the criteria to be, very specific. And all of these contacts, because it's a demo account, have emails. So it's saying 1,002. Okay. But if we only had 50 people with emails, the smart list would contain 50 people. Okay. So that's how smart lists love them. So super easy way to segment your lists. Also a great way to say, these people are the ones who are in the free group. These people are the ones who are in the paid group. These people are the ones who have clicked in a certain email and they're interested, right? Or these people are the ones who are in a certain stage of the pipeline. You can create smart lists for all of that. Now, the reason that that's important is because if we go into the marketing tab and we go to, of course, you can go to templates if you want to and create a template to create a campaign from. Let me go into here actually. Yeah. So you'll see here the newsletter. There is a template for you guys that's already built in that you get with the snapshot. So it has the RSS feed here. Okay. So we have this template already built in. What you want to do when you set up your account is you want to go to create a new campaign. All right. Now I want to use that newsletter template that's in my account, and I want to now schedule this RSS feed to automatically send to everyone on my list that's in that specific newsletter list that we created. So this is really, I don't have to do anything with this because when I click send and, or whatever that said, I want to choose RSS schedule. Okay, now I'm going to give this a name. We could just call it newsletter. And then here, should probably delete the other text first. And then here is where you're going to put your RSS feed. Okay, so which one do you want? Do you want the one where it's going to share every single video, or do you want the one in a specific playlist? Okay, you can choose either one. You could even do both if you want to. So I'm just going to paste that there now. Okay, now I'm going to choose, when do I want this to go out? Okay, now I'm live 5 days a week, so I have it going out Monday through Friday. You may be live one day a week, and so you want it going out on that day. Okay, so if I'm live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday through Friday, I want to uncheck these boxes here. I'm going to say every day because I can, since I unchecked these. Okay, so it's only going to send Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, what time do I want it to send? Since I'm live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want to send it about 1:45. Okay, so I want to definitely give them plenty of time to get the email, to check it, and to join, and then be ready when I go live. Okay. Now here, sender emails filled in for you and name and join us live and all of that. Now down here is where we're going to choose this smart list. Now we could choose all contacts if we want to, but like I said, we don't really want to choose that. We want to be very specific and targeted about who we're sending this to. So we can choose, of course, we could also choose people with tags. But here, let's just go ahead and choose the smart list. When I click there, you'll see there's my smart list. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to them. Now, I'm only going to set this up once, okay? I don't need to do this every day. It's going to just, as soon as I click send, or I schedule, it's going to just always do this for me. I never have to touch this again unless I need to for some reason. So if I want this to go to all of the people in my list and no future people who would wind up in my list because it's dynamic, right? So if I have 1,002 people in my newsletter list right now, and let's say 100 contacts join tomorrow, I still want them to get all of my emails that I'm going to receive. So if I did, and there are sometimes reasons why you wouldn't want to. So again, it's one of those things I love. We have the option, but I definitely want to include them because all the people now in my list and all the people in the future, as soon as they show up in that newsletter list, they're going to qualify for this campaign. All right. So now I'm just going to click schedule. Now I never have to worry about this again. Every single time I upload a new video to YouTube, it's going to notify my entire list. Okay. So let's go back now, and we've already done this part. We've created a smart list. We've created the campaign. Now, when people are contacting us, one thing that we need to have on our websites is a way for them to contact us. Okay. So if I go into this bio link right now and I click on this, you will see at the bottom here, we have this little widget where people can contact us. Super important. People need a way to be able to contact you. We know this for clients. We need to do this for ourselves as coaches as well. Okay. What's super cool is this is kind of another lead magnet because when they enter their info in this form, it goes into your system. And now, guess what? You have them in your system. You can send them your newsletters. All they had to do was contact you. And now it can trigger all those automations, right? But this is super easy to turn on. And all you need to do is go into the settings of every website or funnel inside your account that you want to turn this on. And then just, where is it? Oh, we need to configure it first. You need to configure it. So let's go to default chat widget. Click here. And you'll see that we have enable chat widget bubble. We can customize this here. We can add our own image and all of those things. And we can choose, I think I did go over this before, choose the SMS and the chat widget here. And we can change all the colors and all of that. We can choose if we want them to text, or we can add an email field here. And then of course we have our acknowledgement settings for compliance. Want to make sure we're compliant. And then we're going to save. Now let's go back to this website here. And you'll see if we go to funnels and bio link and settings. Okay, I don't, oh, they just changed this. Cool, literally. This is like a Easter egg or something. I just saw this. It's awesome. So this used to be like that's why I was confused at first. This used to be like a little switch that you toggled on. Now we can have multiple chat widgets. What? This is one of the things. You guys go to the group, high level group right now, screenshot this and say, did you know that high level just added the option for us to have multiple chat widgets? Super cool. Okay, so now it's set to default. That's all you have to do. And then of course, click save. So if I had 9,000 funnels or websites in this account, that's all I'd have to do is turn that on to each one. And of course, it's great that you have the option to not turn it on if you don't want that. Okay. Super simple. All right, now the next thing is configuring the reputation management. You guys do not underestimate the power of having reviews for every single business. And just because you're a coach, that doesn't mean you're not a business. Okay, so you want to definitely set up your reputation management. You want to start collecting reviews. And obviously, Google is the best because Google's a search engine. Google's going to help you to be found and ranked organically if you have a listing there and start getting reviews. So if that's going to help you, why not have all your reviews there? But there are options if you would rather use another platform. Okay. All you have to do when you set up your reputation management, you can see here, we have this dashboard. Super cool that we can see all of the latest review requests because you can build in to your automations. And I showed that, like, for example, when people book an appointment and we're sending the reminders, and then after the appointment we want to send them a review request. That's a great opportunity to get that review because you've just talked to them, you're fresh on their mind, and the chances are of them leaving you a good review, that's good. That would be the best time, would be right then. Okay. So we can check out all of our trends and all of that stuff. We can also look here at all of the requests that we've already sent. And of course, if we wanted to send a review request, we could click here and just choose our contact name and then, submit the form here. And then it's going to send either a text message or an email according to however we've set that up. We can check out our reviews here. We do have the ability here to send a review request, and I can't show you my live account, but we also have the ability to respond using AI to reviews. What? You need to respond, by the way, to every single review that you have. It's good for the Google listing, but it's also just a nice thing. Someone took the time out of their day to leave you a review. You want to at least thank them for that. It's also really good when other potential customers see your reviews and they see that you're responding. That just, again, it's another layer of building up that know, like, and trust factor. Now, when you have your reviews created or your system created, and you want to create your widget, of course, you can customize all of these things. You can, let's do the create new. And you can see here that we can choose the layout, we can choose how many reviews that we want, the ranking. Here we can choose the content, so we can change the headline here. We can choose the header, what we want to show. We can adjust the colors and all of that. So it used to be that we needed code. You don't even need to do that anymore because high level is amazing. And we can choose all the font, and we can make it dark if we like. We could also choose a custom color if we want to. And then here in the settings, you'll see here is the code that we could actually embed this into any website that we have available, okay? Now there is a part in here where you can choose, let me see if it's in the settings here, where you can choose, here we go. This is what I wanted to make sure to point out. If you have reviews on another platform, you're just like, look, I have my own reasons why I'm not using Google or Facebook. If you have a business, maybe Yelp is better for you. If you do have something custom like that, you could always just add your own custom link here and then send your reviews there, the review requests. Okay. So super easy to set that up. And if you want to add that to your own website, if you go into the sites section and you go into coaching, this is actually added there already. You would just need to pull in the widget onto any of your website. Of course, if you're using something different, you can embed the code. But if you're using a high level website, there's a widget that you can just simply drag into the website and add it anywhere that you want to. All you need to do is go up here to the plus sign, and you're going to go to, let's do reviews, and then you'll just drag that in. I just clicked it and drag, but super easy to add to any website. Now, let me show you though quickly where when I talk about sending that review request, if we go to appointment reminders, and I talked about this yesterday, this is how you would just simply add this, right? Any workflow that you have, that at any step in the workflow, let's just say I came here and this wasn't down here, and I decided at this step I wanted to send a review request. All I'd have to do is click the little plus sign and then add my review request, and then choose, do I want it to be email or text? And then now when that lead gets to that step in the workflow, it's going to send them a review request. So I don't need to do anything. And then if you have the AI turned on that's auto responding, oh my gosh, does it get any more automated than that? I mean, seriously. Okay, so now we've talked about the chat widget and the reputation management. Oh my gosh, here's more fun with RSS feeds. Okay, so let's go into my live account here because I have all of my social media connected already. Okay, so of course, this is the social planner. It's already built in high level. It's one of the 9,000 amazing things that we don't need to pay extra for, right? So you want to connect all of your social media accounts here inside of the social media planner. Okay. Now, obviously it tells you how many is connected, total posts and all of that. You can see all of your social media here. You can see all the recent posts, all the posts, the scheduled posts, the failed posts, drafts. You can send them to approval, CSV, reoccurring RSS posts, and then other. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go up here to the new posts, and you'll see right here, RSS post. Okay. Of course, we could have content AI create, and we could upload, we could do choose social media and all that. But what we want to focus on to get traffic is the RSS post. Okay. Or the RSS. Yeah. So what I want to do, I'm going to just take my RSS feed here, whether it's the playlist one or the just the channel, and I'm just going to paste that there. Now I want to decide what platforms am I going to put this on. Now, just so you know, you can't post to Instagram because it's only images, but let's just say I want this to post to Facebook and LinkedIn, and let's do Twitter and Google My Business. Okay, so we just want to post all that. So now, if you're following along, what is actually happening here? Okay, we have gone live, okay, or we've scheduled our event at this point to YouTube. As soon as we've done that, it sent a list to our emails, or everyone with the newsletter tag, or everyone in that smart list, right? Now it's also taking that information from our video, and it's also posting to all of our social media channels at one time. Okay. So all we've done at this point is schedule a YouTube event, and then the whole system takes over after that. Okay. So when it schedules the YouTube event, what carries over from that RSS feed is basically, and you can see here, the title and then the link. But let's say that we have a specific call to action that we want to follow up after that. Maybe we have hashtags that we want to make sure that we're using. We could actually just add that here. Let's just add hashtag Bridget Bartlett. And then let's say I want to say hashtag Bridget Bartlett. And then let's say book your uh, or let's say join our free community. Join our free community today at, and then I'll just put this here at bridgetbartlett.com. Okay. So you can see here now, every time, because we're building the feed, not the post, okay, this is what's going to happen every time information reaches this feed. Okay. So now the system's smart enough to know, okay, you've given us this feed. We're going to watch it. We're going to see as soon as we see something new, we're going to notify this system. Okay. So now it's telling high level, oh, a new video has been added. Let's go ahead and send the email. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and schedule to all of your social media channels. Okay. So we're adding here our content from the video. Now we've added our call to action at the end. Now, how many times do you want this to check the feed? Okay, so this is going to be how many times it's checking the feed. And this is going to be how many posts per update. Okay, now I don't want to be, if you're only going live one day, one time a day, it's not that big of a deal. If you're if you have like multiple videos or you had multiple things going on and you're just posting for whatever reason, obviously you don't want like 25 posts on your page. But you may, I mean, whatever your reason is, if you're providing so much value, maybe you do. But you can decide here, how many times do I want to check the feed? Maybe every 15 minutes, but how many posts per update? Okay, so if it's checking, and let's just say one a day, if we're going live one a day. And so if it's checking, let's say it's checking one a day, but you have 5 videos on the channel that you've uploaded in that one day. How many of those do you want it to post in the one day? So maybe one. Okay. So you can see what this looks like on Google Business, you can see on Facebook, and you can see on LinkedIn, and then you can also see on Twitter what it's going to look like. Okay. This is a massive automation that's, you guys, it's really simple. Okay.
Yeah. You
I've
know,
already built this out for you. It's really simple to set this up and you never have to touch it again.
quick question for you. So on the check the feed component that you're describing, so let's say I go live at 11 a.m. and I have this post created at 9 a.m. What you're saying is throughout the day, it'll just scan at least once to pick up that live that's happening at 11, and then it'll create a post after or during the event to let everybody know in your channels that this is happening. Is that the concept?
Yeah, so it's gonna look for the new video, and then it's gonna post however many times that you say here, right? So if it's looking one a day, it's just gonna post one a day. So it wouldn't, like, let's say that it's looking once a day and then you say post two, then it would be like it's only gonna post the one time a day, but it would have like 2 videos, right? So if you're using the high level channel and you guys have like 9,000 videos that you're uploading, what I would say is use the playlist to trigger those automations. And that way you can choose the specific areas and the calls to action and things
Gotcha.
like that that you want to use.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And
Okay.
for those of you that might be watching and this is going too fast, or you're completely lost, or maybe you're not a tech wizard at all, maybe you're like me that just completely, lost on technology in general. I promise you, all the replays are available in YouTube. You can speed it up or slow it down and go click by click. So don't worry, we'll make sure that these resources are available to you on the YouTube channel. But keep going, keep going.
So that's all we're going to do to schedule that post. Okay. So we've really created some massive automations. And you guys, I set something like this up before a few years ago, and I had to have 4 different softwares. And it really took me a long time to figure out how to even get it set up. Okay. So if you didn't do this before, you can't possibly have the massive love and appreciation for high level that I have showing you this. But if you have set this up before, you know this is a complete game changer. Okay. The ability To automate these types of things is absolutely going to change the trajectory of our businesses. Okay. You can't create more time. So we need to automate all the things that we can possibly automate to eliminate the time. Okay. So now, of course, we talked about the connecting to the social platforms and all of that. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that is literally everything that I wanted to discuss, you guys, is the whole system. All right. When you guys are in your because I do want to talk about this as well. When you guys are in your membership groups here, um, we do have the ability when we're driving traffic, okay, every single time, and look at this is what I knew I was missing, the daily workflow, okay? I've added this for you because all of these different steps and everything can be super overwhelming, okay? And I just want you to know, once you get those things set up, that it's not you're doing this every day. Okay. So I literally built out a day for you that you can accomplish within 4 hours. Okay. Because if you think about it, let's walk through this. Okay. So we talked about creating the post for the group. So you're choosing 3 groups. Now, what you want to do is create a post for group one, comment on 3 posts in group one. Okay. So it's one thing to say go engage in the groups, but like what do you need to do every single day, right? So when you wake up in the day, you need to have a plan. Whatever, even if you don't use this, you need to have a plan. Okay. So I wanted to give you a plan to get you started. Of course, you're going to add steps. Maybe you'll remove steps, but this is going to get you started and ensure that you're following all the steps, especially when you're live streaming. Because sometimes I'm like, did I do that? So what we want to do is we want to create a post for that group. We want to comment on 3 posts in the group that are not our own. And then again, we want to, for our second group and then our third group, we want to do that. Now, then you want to respond to all of your messages on whatever platform that you're in. Okay. If you're in Facebook Messenger, your personal profile, that doesn't link to High Level. So you'll have to check that manually. But all of your other platforms will integrate, like if it's Instagram or your Facebook business page, you can actually have those check the conversations. I am in the conversations tab inside of High Level every single day. That's the main place that I work out of. So I need to check, I need to post to my groups, I need to check Messenger, I need to check the conversations. Now I'm moving on. Don't do this all day where you stay on Facebook and or you stay on LinkedIn and you're just having conversation after conversation after conversation. This is such a time killer. And while it does help you, you're doing the manual process of pre-qualification because these people probably barely know you. And when you're having these conversations, one of the main things that I like to say is, "Oh, sure, I can help you." Or because people will say, "Can I book some time with you?" And I'll say, "Actually, you could just join us 5 days or 4 days a week in open office hours." And I share the link to open office hours. Okay. So this is really the basis. Or I'll say, "Great, I have a YouTube video for that." And that's another great way when you're networking. Think about if you're going live all these times and you've created all these videos. Now you're in a business group and you have a video on how to create a logo for a lawn care business. And you're in this group where there are lawn care business owners and someone posts, "How do I create a logo?" Well, that's awesome because you just happen to have a video of that. Now, what happens is you've made a connection with this person because you've provided them a solution that they were looking for to solve their problem. And when they watch the video, they are now seeing your face. They're hearing your voice. They're getting to know you now. They're seeing the value you provide. If it's YouTube, that's probably suggesting another video. You know, you can even add in screens and suggest your own video. They will, chances are, start binge watching because now you have all this relevant content that they've been looking for and they're subscribing. And now every day they're getting notifications that you're going live and they're like, whoa, I'm now you're building the know, like, and trust factor with this person until it becomes a sale, right? That's basically how all of that works. So having this content, again, it's not just about the live stream and the engagement and all that stuff. It's building the knowledge base of videos and content that is positioning you as the expert to your target audience. So the next step is we want to create a thumbnail. Okay. You guys don't overthink this. Okay. Even I create my absolute, and I don't even want to show it to you. My absolute most popular video on YouTube has the world's ugliest thumbnail. Oh my gosh. It's so ugly. And it's still, I can't change it because it's getting all kinds of massive views and it's super old, but it's so ugly. So while it's something that you could focus on. There's lots of free tools you can use to create thumbnails. You could even outsource it if you want to, but don't overthink this when you're creating thumbnails. It's just something it's something you're going to have to do. If you're using a tool to create it, what I like to do, especially in the beginning, create one and then just swap out the titles. Okay. It'll help you to remain consistent with your branding because when you're creating your thumbnail, all the branding needs to be consistent and you have all of your right brand colors that we created in day one, all of those things, your headshot, you want your face on there. If you look at my YouTube channel, you can see here that I have, let's actually go to my channel. You can see that my thumbnails are pretty consistent. Okay. Now I do have some others I've kind of played around with to see if I get a better click-through rate because none of us are lifetime experts on everything. As things change, we always have to change and adjust. So I'm doing some testing to see which thumbnails are better and so on. Okay. So don't overwhelm yourself with that. Super basic. You guys probably recognize this template already that I created. Okay. So that's basically, you just want to create the thumbnail. Now that you have your thumbnail, you're creating your YouTube event, right? So let's just go back here. Let me show you here when you're creating your video and your live stream and you're scheduling it. So let's go to the calendar. Let's go schedule live stream. Let's just do create new. Okay, so I have some default text here, and you can set that up if you want to. So I already have all this default text, but what I want to do, and again, I'm not overthinking this. I'm not really thinking about SEO. I'm not really thinking about tags and all of that. And that's definitely something that you want to think about in the future. But when you're first starting, just get the content out there because what we really want to do is just start building our channel, start building our audience. And that's all things that can happen in the future. Don't overwhelm yourself because if you're not creating your first live stream because you're worried about tags and SEO, that's counterproductive. Okay. So what we want to do is we're going to add a title, right? How to choose a color palette for lawn care business. And then I'm going to add a short description here. And it doesn't need to be extreme, but it should be about 200 words talking about what are they going to learn in the video. And if we talk about, like, if you go back to some of my other videos, let's go back here. Let's just pull up a description here of my YouTube video because you'll see it's pretty basic. So let's just say this one here. We have a description here. And you see, it's not long at all, right? It's pretty basic. I'm just really telling people what we're going to do, right? Now, what's cool about this is that when you add the content in this description, that's also going to be the content that gets sent to your email list. Okay. So it's going to be this video, here's a description and all of that. And then it goes. And then also social media, right? All the description is going to be transposed or transcribed or copied or whatever the word is I'm thinking of. That's all going to be with the video. So the content that you put in your video is also the content in the email. And if you really wanted to get super techie, there are some RSS feed tools that you could create for some really advanced customizations with the RSS feed, but it's not necessary. Okay, you could totally just
And are
use
you
those.
doing that for SEO purposes or like what's your mindset on that?
To do what? I'm sorry.
The descriptions all being like all matching, the right links all coordinating, like what's the bigger outlook on why you correlate all of that in a kind of a symmetric way?
Just to save time.
Okay,
There
got it.
inside of YouTube, there's if you go down here to like settings, let me see if I remember. If you go to settings here, I think it's in YouTube Studio that you can go into the settings tab here and set your upload defaults. And so this is definitely helpful because you won't have to, like, I don't want to have to type this in to every, and I used to actually have like a little, like a Google sheet where I had all of this stuff in the box and I would just paste it in every time I added content here. So this is just, it will automatically be added there. Now, since like the last couple months here, I've hired an SEO guy, but I seriously have built my entire business without focusing on SEO. I've built my channel to almost 13,000 subscribers without worrying about tags and SEO. you know? So it's not something that's like an absolute requirement that we have to have. Now, would it have been better for me to focus on that? Absolutely. All of these things are so important. But we need to, especially in the beginning, be focusing on things that are going to move the needle in our business and not be trying to be lifetime learners of the best SEO for YouTube, right? Focus on what you're good at and outsource the rest.
Yeah.
All right, so that is really everything that I had to go over today. I do want to remind you guys, though, for sure, if you have missed, let me go back to my slide. If you've missed any of this training whatsoever, go to gohighlevel.com/Bridget Bartlett replays. And if you are a high level member already, you guys are today going to get that entire system that I showed you, the funnels, the workflows, the SOP, that checklist. You're going to be able to join me in open office hours 4 days a week. And of course, you can join our free community. If you create a high level free trial at gohighlevel.com/Bridget Bartlett offer, it needs to be that specific link. You're going to get, this is for all new, so creating the trial or upgrading to SaaS through me. You'll get access to the paid community, our weekly group coaching session, our done for you system that's completely separate from this special coaching offer. And then we have other white label software that you can add to and to add to your value ladder. Okay, because we want to focus on the reoccurring income. So that is it.
Awesome. I mean, those of you that are wanting to take advantage of some of these things and you already have a high level account, it doesn't make sense for you to jump into another trial, right? So just be aware, we're going to make all these things available to you at a link here below. I'm going to post this into the Zoom chat. So if you're in the Zoom, you'll get access to it. When you go in there, you may see that it's empty. Give it a couple of hours. We'll drop a Google Doc in there with all the proper links to join Bridget's community and some of the cool things that she's offering. Um, and hopefully that helps you. And that's at gohighlevel.com/Bridget Bartlett resources that are specific to this workshop. Bridget, so any final thoughts and words to the folks that are starting out and they're like, I don't feel like I'm ready to be a coach, but if I were to build out a community and kind of start just putting content out there and just kind of building some momentum, what are some advice, some pros and cons that you would share with them?
Essentially, I hate to say anyone can be a coach, but if you have more knowledge that, and honestly, a lot of agency owners end up being coaches. And it's because we spend all this time learning all of these skills. And then we get to a point where everyone, like even having an agency and all of that, people just want to be taught how to do things. And so a lot of times they will even ask you, hey, can you just teach me how to do this? And then I also got to a point in the agency where I just felt like, man, if you took just a couple days to learn this, you could save thousands of dollars. And that's kind of where I was at. So if you are experienced in something and you love to educate people, being a coach is honestly the best thing that you can do. Just it's so cool to teach people how to do things that, first of all, we all start in business because we have something in us that we're just not good employees. We start our own business because we have something that we're passionate about, and we want to share that with other people, right? We want to build this business that we love. And so if you're that person and you're like, man, I just love educating, I just love helping people with all the things. And for me, I love having a community because, and I've said this so many times, because when I first got started, I had no help. I had no one to help me through the losses. I had no one to celebrate with me when I had some wins. When I got stuck, I had no one to ask, or unless I was going to pay someone. But then even then, I didn't know who to pay. Now, if there was a coach that was online on YouTube that I could watch their videos and I could get their help, that would have been a totally different story. And so, as a coach, when we're helping our clients, we want to always keep that in mind, especially if we've been where they are. what could I have used at that time? What would have really helped me at that time to be able to push through when I was having that struggle? Or what would have helped me when I did have that win? I would have loved to have like people to go to and say, guess what? I just created my first converting webinar. I'm so excited. And then people who actually know what it takes to build a converting webinar are like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Because if they don't know, they're like, cool, great, it's awesome, congratulations. So it makes such a big difference having that community and that coach to help you.
Absolutely. And if you watch this 3-day workshop and you've gotten a lot of value out of it, I know I have, please put some gratitude notes in the comments. Say thank you, because Bridget doesn't have to do this. I mean, honestly, we asked her and she's like, yes, let's do it because of the relationship she has with us. And she's a big, advocate, in my opinion, for high level, and not because of just the branding and the people that are behind it, but she do believe in the product itself. And, it's cool to learn from someone who has a practical knowledge in building the businesses while you're in it. So Bridget, I'm looking forward to seeing you probably at the summit. I'm assuming you're coming.
Yeah, yeah.
And in case if you
And
haven't,
speaking of that, I did want to say, if you guys, one of the honestly the cool underestimated things about the high level summit is that it's first of all the speakers and all the value and networking with everyone, having that community like we're talking about where people are working on the same things that you're working on. Don't underestimate the value of partnering with these people, because high level is so cool and it's growing like leaps and bounds, and there are all these really amazing other companies who are building third party integrations with high level, and they're all at the Level Up Summit. So
yeah.
they have booths around. You can walk to each of them, you can talk to them, you can learn more about their tools. I guarantee you're going to find something there that is going to be perfect for your clients that you can add to your value stack to
Yeah.
help them, even with the reoccurring income that
Yeah.
doesn't use your time.
I love that. And even bigger brands like Facebook, Google, a lot of players that you may not think would they come to the high level summit as well, and they send their teams to learn and see and interact how marketing agencies do certain things, and they, constantly are figuring out ways to work with us as well. So you could even folks from Stripe, Twilio, like I'm telling you, even just parallel brands that work with us, that they show up as well. It's an amazing experience. But either way, hopefully you got a lot of cool nuggets out of this. You learned a lot of new strategies. Please make sure you express your gratitude to Bridget in the comments. We're looking forward to the next event as well. And this offer right here that you're seeing on this page, gohighlevel.com/Bridget Bartlett offer. This is a 30-day trial to a high level plan. I believe it's either the 97 or the 297 or both. You can choose which one you want to jump into. This offer will only last until Friday midnight of this week. That's Central Time. So after that, you won't be able to take advantage of the workshop offer for Bridget in general. So please make sure you take advantage of it. We don't do these workshops all the time with the same people, so you're not going to see Bridget probably for a while. So take advantage of it and grab the bonuses, the extra collaterals, resources. And I know we've always heard great things about her community out there as well, and her coaching side and services as well. And you also have partnerships. So you do stuff with Matt DeSano, Beyond Singh, Hey Levi, you chat with the AI company. I can't think of their name. Like you have a
Okay.
lot of relationships there that could, you can guide a lot of people in what should I do about these other third-party integrations. Can you speak to that a little bit? I don't think we got a chance to talk about a lot of your partnerships that are even outside of high level.
Well, one of the things that I talk about, we want to, as coaches, we want to add the reoccurring income that we're not spending our time doing. And so I really look for that in a tool, but I also look for the people who are backing it. I want to know, are they going to be around next year? Because I don't want to put my name and time into building something that, it's like some fly by the night thing. I also really dive deep into the tool. I'm always a user before a reseller, and we should always be doing that. Sometimes people sign up to like resell high level and they're like, well, I don't know how to set up my own system, but I'm trying to get my client." And I'm like, what how are you getting clients if you don't even know what you're doing? Like, you've not even set up your own system yet. And if you could do that fast and you could do that, you have an audience and things like that, maybe possible. But it's always best to just make sure you do your research and all that. And definitely go to the high level marketplace. It's right inside your
Yeah.
dashboard. You can see a list of all of these amazing tools. I guarantee you'll find something specific for your niche. And these are the things that we're going to, while high level is a great foundation, we need to be providing services specifically for our business. So the solutions that I provide to my clients might not be the same solutions that you provide to your clients, but it's cool that we have all of these options
Yeah.
available to us to just simply add in, just simply paste the link into your menu, and then now all your clients can have access to this other tool.
Yeah, and then there's also resources like developers.gohighlevel.com where you see a marketplace of integrations, right? So like let's say for example, you are focused on the plumbing industry and you want to have, I don't know, something like Service Titan or something that's relevant to that industry that they're using for inventory management and just or a payment gateway as just as an example. You might find some of those options inside of our developers marketplace, and all you have to do is integrate with those options. A lot of them are even free, like they don't even charge for the integrations. So take a look at some of that. Take a look at additional content we have in our YouTube channel as well. But Bridget, I just want to first of all, well, last but not least, but just also express my gratitude of teaching and giving away the farm, in my opinion, and being so gracious with it. So thank you from the High Level family as well for doing another wonderful, wonderful 3-day workshop.
Sure, anytime. And I mean that. I really, really love high level. And I don't just say that with my words. I literally have built my entire business off of high level. That's really what we're all trying to do, right? You have this amazing foundation. Now let's use this and then build on top of it and just create amazing, not just businesses, but amazing opportunities for ourselves and our families and all the people that we help with our solutions.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead and say bye for now. Feel free to catch the replays in case if you missed it. In our YouTube channel, there's specific replay links as well. And again, this 30-day trial offer will only last until Friday. And I see a ton of you that are just trickling in and signing up for the trial. So congrats to a lot of you that are jumping in. And Bridget and her team is going to support you. Our team will support you if you feel lost. And if you're like me, completely just, lost on technical stuff in general, I can barely change out a light bulb without asking my wife, making sure I'm doing the right thing. But if you're like me, there's plenty of resources. We have live Zoom calls that are happening. If you go to gohighlevel.com/success, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Zoom room open 24/7 that you can just jump into as a customer and talk to somebody at high level. That's how serious we take our support and success channel. So take advantage of this, advantage of a lot of those resources we have. And again, don't be lonely in the world of entrepreneurship. It's very easy to silo yourself in your office at home and your laptop warrior slash digital entrepreneur. And a lot of the communities are not like us digital citizens. When I go to dinner with family, I'm trying to explain what I do on the internet, I just give up half the time because they just don't relate in the same capacity because they're not in our world. So it's important that you connect with fellow digital citizens. Make sure you say hello. Tell us what you're, working on and things like that. There's also a 5-day challenge that's about to launch. So take a look at that. And it's more of an intimate setting as well. And either way, I'll go ahead and say bye for now so we don't elongate this video recall and replay for the video team. But either way, thanks for joining us for another 3-day workshop, everybody.
Bye.